Hi, this is Jason Mader with Sweaty Hero Comic Bargains, and talking about with you for some Marvel's greatest comics reprints. So I would call them Marvel's greatest reprints. And so I'm sure some of you might be familiar with the title Marvel Tales that went all the way up to the 90s, which reprinted Spider-Man stories, starting with originally Marvel Tales started with reprinting a bunch of different characters in a big thick book, but then very quickly within a few years went down just to Amazing Spider-Man, and then for a time they kind of decided to go back to the beginning of the Spider-Man run with Amazing Spider-Man #1 for a long period of time. Then they tried to do some Marvel team up, and then they went back again, mixing it up with different issues of Spider-Man. But that was the most famous ongoing, long running reprint title. But in the 70s and 80s, Marvel had several of these that were going on. And it's because, back then it wasn't like you had easy access to go to a comic book store or find back issues or trades or anything, right? So one of those titles was Marvel's Greatest Comics, with, of course, the Fantastic Four. And this is presenting the Fantastic Four. This issue would have been originally from Stan Lee and John Buscema. Now, because these are in such poor grade as well, these are easily found in dollar bins and in bargain bins. And so if you just want to read the original story, say you don't have the money to fork over for a copy of Fantastic Four 107, which even at the low grade is probably still going to cost you a few bucks, this is a great alternative, just for fun. So this one is with the Thing, and then we have Marvel Super Action. Again, this one is reflecting on Avengers. So this references Avengers 72, and this one references Avengers 76. So this is kind of cool because I never got a chance to get into Avengers when I was younger. This one is Roy Thomas and Sal Buscema. Look at that. That is a cool front art page. I like that. That's cool. And this issue was with John Buscema, not Sal Buscema. And there's some great art there as well, And then you have Marvel Superheroes featuring the Incredible Hulk. I find it funny that they weren't even called like Hulk Tales or Rampaging Hulk. They're called just Marvel. Like Marvel Superheroes. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they did that, but okay. So this was reprinting the Incredible Hulk comic books. This is Stan Lee and Herb Trimpe. This is reprinting Hulk number 112. Imagine if there was one that was reprinting Hulk 181. That'd be kind of cool. This one's reprinting Hulk versus Fantastic Four, of course. And so this is reprinting Hulk 122 with Roy Thomas and Herb Trimpe again. This one is reprinting Hulk number 151. And this is reprinting Hulk 151. And then this issue is reprinting Hulk 155. So again, all because of the condition of these comic books, these all could be found in a dollar bin at the local comic shop. That's what it's called, in Windsor, Ontario. Marvel Super Action is the Avengers. How did we get that? Did I screw it up here? Maybe I did. Well, I guess I did. I have another Super Action here. So this one goes actually with this. This is part of this series. And then the last reprint is kind of an interesting choice. It's Sergeant Fury and Allen Commandos. This is not a reprint title per se, but this is issue 156, and it is reprinting issue 60. And so I guess during the late 70s, during the tail end of Sergeant Fury's run, it was just reprinting some older stories. So this one again, reprinting Sergeant Fury. Sergeant Fury is Nick Fury in the Marvel Universe, but I know it's silly, but Nick Fury, the original Colonel Fury, was Colonel Fury from 1944. So he was in World War II, and then so in the 60s he was Sergeant Fury and the Spy, but whatever. It's fun. But these are war stories more, right? Even though they're set in the Marvel universe and part of Marvel continuity later. So that's kind of your fun look at some of the Marvel reprint titles. And again, along with my favorite Marvel Tales, and of course X-Men Classic is always a favorite, which has some cool backups of different untold tales type stories. You can always find these sort of reprint titles in the dollar bin or bargain bins to read classic Marvel stories. Until next time, Sweaty Heroes.